Hey, good morning. It's Mike. This world we live in, this world of entrepreneurialism, it's a strange and different and weird universe. Sometimes it feels like we're aliens living on this planet, and that's because from the earliest days, from our childhood, we've been programmed, we've been educated, we've been molded to believe that we're workers in this cog of post-industrial society. And as workers, as cogs in this wheel, we have to behave a certain way, think a certain way, talk a certain way, believe a certain way. And really, in order to be an entrepreneur, in order to work for yourself and be your own boss and grow your own company, you have to think in a way that is counter to what society wants you to think. You have to think in ways that are different and revolutionary. You have to think in new and unique ways. And one of the things that I've found about our culture of entrepreneurialism is that we have an overglorification for the grind, for the hustle, for the beatdown. We like to tell stories of how hard it was and how difficult we had it, and sleeping in our bathtub and eating ramen noodles. And while I do believe that the grind is very important, and I do believe that the hustle is very important, I also think that we can have an unnatural affection towards these things and wear them as trophies in our universe. And, Zig so eloquently said this many years ago. He said, some of us learn from other people's mistakes and the rest of us have to be other people. I don't always want to be those other people. I don't want to be the guy that gets beat down. I don't want to be the guy that has to hustle it out. I don't want to be the guy that has to grind it all the way out. I'm an entrepreneur, and so as an entrepreneur, I want to look for best practices and ways around that. I want to look for ideas and people that I can surround myself with that elevate me and lift me higher. Here's something else that's different about this universe, and is that we all live by the mantra that we are the average of the 5 closest friends, the 5 closest people that we have to us. And while none of us would ever dream of slumming it with people that are low thinkers, low believers, low doers, low action takers, at the same time, those people that are at that level, which is clearly a level below where we're at right now, they dream of hanging out with us. They dream of thinking our thoughts, of having our life, of doing the things that we do, of enjoying the freedom and control that we have in our life because we took the leap. We took the jump into entrepreneurialism. We're circling around this other planet in our own universe that is so different and strange. And while you would never think to surround yourself with people that think at a lower level than you, at the same time, the people that are thinking at a higher level than you, the people that have already made the mistakes, people that have already learned the shortcuts, the people that already know the best practices, they would never dream about hanging out with you. And the reason why they wouldn't do that is because it would pull them out of their stratosphere. It would pull them out of their universe. And I know this sounds completely strange. If you don't live in the entrepreneurial world, you will not get this. You will think, well, that sounds cruel, Mike. Why would you ever put it that way? But for those of us that understand what I'm saying, it's the truth. You would never move down in your network. You would always want to move up. And yet, just like you would never move down, the people that are up above you, they don't want to move down to your level. So how do you circulate in these higher levels? How do you bypass the hustle? How do you bypass the grind? How do you bypass the school of hard knocks? And the answer is actually quite simple. You buy somebody else's intelligence. You buy somebody else's attention. You buy somebody else's time. If you want to, you go to the library and you buy a book that somebody else has written. Now, the problem with buying books that somebody else has written is simply this, is that everybody else reads the same book. You can always tell when a book gets hot in the entrepreneurial world is that everybody starts clamoring about the same thing over and over again. A bunch of ducks, walking around in circles talking about the same things. You can tell when they've all been to the same conferences. The problem with going to all the same conferences, and I apologize if I'm stepping on any toes here, is the fact that when you go to all the same conferences, you have all the same knowledge that everybody else has. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassa's husband, one of the richest men in the world, says the secret to wealth is to know something that other people don't know. And if you're just the average of what everybody else knows, you're not going to escalate in your level to network and to build higher relationships. You have to know something that somebody else doesn't know. And why would people want to hang out with you and share that information? Quite simply, because you pay them. Hey, there's nothing wrong with the grind. There's nothing wrong with the hustle. But if you're wearing the grind and the hustle as a badge of honor, that to show that you belong in this universe, and you're not paying people to get specific, defined knowledge that not everybody else knows and understands, guys, you're doing it wrong. All right, this is Mike. Make it a great day.